My name is Tonya, and this is all levels comeback yoga class. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization based out of Denver, Colorado. We have classes along the Front Range of Colorado in person, as well as here on the YouTube channel, pretty much 24 hours a day. Well, yes, 24 hours a day. You can attend a live class, or you can drop in to any one class that you like, whether it's all levels or just a level two challenging class, whatever it is, whatever you're needing. We have lots and lots and lots of options for you that you can watch for as long as you want. You could even do some back to back. And you can replay over and over your favorite classes. So I welcome each and every one of you to this all levels class. What you'll need today is a mat, an exercise mat, and maybe a blanket or a pillow to use for your practice today. But otherwise, you don't need anything else. You might, however, be near like a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture, a table or a chair or something to support you for like getting up and down or navigating one of our balancing poses. All right. So, just getting familiar with my space here. If you would like to turn your yoga mat or your exercise mat the same orientation as mine, that way we kind of mirror each other, like so. I'll be referring to this side of the room as the floor plant and this side of the room as the plant on a stand or the stand plant. And then I have the screen behind me, the berry, the board um, barrier uh, behind me, and then I'll be referring to towards you as the front of the room or the screen. All right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with today's 45-minute class. Like I said, we'll be here for 45 minutes. Just want to give you one more little intro here is that we'll be moving a little bit of doing some warm up for the joints. And then we'll be moving into some of the big postures that we do in yoga, and then back down to the ground for some longer stretches, some longer holds, and then in our final meditation, relaxation. And that portion will be about 5 minutes or so. So you want to find that you are in a secure location in your surroundings. As on occasion, I might invite you to close your eyes, and I just want you to feel safe and secure. All right, let's go ahead and do it, shall we? And always remember to do what you can and start where you are. So I'm sitting on a cushion, and you might do that as well. So we'll just start here for now. And I'm just going to take a couple of shoulder rolls back. So up, down, and back. And last one. All right. So finding yourself sitting in any position, you could be in a chair. And if you'd rather lie down for this is fine too. So we're going to first start with just a breathing exercise. So if your sinuses are clear, you're breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And just noticing where your breath goes. If you were here for the first part of the class, I just did a little bit of reading talking about how we fill in and notice where our breath moves as we're breathing, bringing life inside of us to fill and expand as much as possible, and then breathing out. As our breath is fundamental to our yoga practice, and it's also fundamental to life. So every breath we take expands our chest and belly to create more space on the inside. So creating more space on the inside by expanding. So receiving that breath. So think about a balloon, like the balloon is on the inside, and your balloon, so the container of your torso is the outside of the balloon. And we are filling that balloon up as we inhale. Sometimes it's helpful to do what I'm doing is to move the hands. So as you breathe in, your the balloon, your inside is expanding, and when you breathe out, that balloon is just compressing. So the air is moving out of the balloon. Let's do 3 more. Inhaling, expanding. And exhaling to release. 2 more. If you like to count, we go 5, 4, 3, even down, 2 and 1. And exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. One more time. Inhale 5, 4, 2 and 1. Relaxing shoulders and jaw. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Now just stay at a natural breath here, just noticing where and how the breath is moving now. So we'll help increase our breath capacity by now moving, opening up the side body. So let's go ahead and straighten out the legs. And again, you could still be sitting up on a cushion if you like. So legs are going to be forward. With an inhale, take your arms up overhead and then side bending, feeling that waist and the ribs expand. And coming up, side bending other way. Let's do 2 more each side. So just kind of going with your breath and feeling how that lengthening is really opening up the sides and possibly even noticing how your breath gets a little bit more easier. We'll do 1 more each side. Good. All right, wonderful. Take a deep breath in. Let's see if that has changed anything. And breathe out. 1 more in and out. Wonderful. All right. We're going to come down onto our side. So bending the knees, laying down onto your side, knees out in front, and your head resting on your bottom arm. Let's take our hand to our shoulder, our top hand to the shoulder, and circle your arm up and around to the back. Just noticing your breath. And then going the other way. Good. And now take that arm up overhead, turn your palm to the wall behind you, and then wrap your arm to your back. So maybe it lands on your hip or your back, or maybe even up between the shoulder blades. And then let's unravel, turning your palm now towards you, the front of your mat, the long edge of your mat, and then taking your hand back behind you. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling, thumb down, arm behind. Last one. Inhaling, arm up, maybe even alongside the ear this time, and then exhale down. Wonderful. All right, take your hand down in front of you for support. Your top leg is going to come out and around. So just kind of moving through the hip here. You can even straighten out your leg if you like, bringing your leg up and around. All right, and that's it for that side. Let's go ahead and come onto our stomach, resting your head on the back of your hands and adjusting so that you feel equal on the sides. Breathing in and out. If your sinuses are clear, breathing in through that nose. Now, thinking about your left elbow and your right leg. Let's lift that left elbow with the head and the right leg. So you're going to lift up, push down into the right hand, and then lower down. Same side, two more times. Push down, lift leg and elbow and head, and lower down. Last one. Good. And releasing down. All right, switching sides for 3 times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Last one. And then resting on your stomach. Let's take both legs and both arms. So engage in your backside. Lift up and lower down. Your head and shoulders coming up. 2 more. Lift up and down. Last one. And down. And just resting. Maybe turning your head to one side. And then pressing yourself up and back into child's pose. The hips coming towards the heels, toes maybe touching. Forehead can rest on the ground or on your arms. All right. And let's come to our other side. I'm going to come up to face you and lay down on my side. So getting really long, bring those knees underneath, head resting on your arm or on a blanket, and moving that shoulder, elbow around 4 or 5 times, and then going the other direction. All right, and take your arms straight up to the ceiling, palm facing the monitor, and then thumb or palm turning to the wall behind you, and bringing your hand down. Maybe you bend your elbow, maybe you don't. And let's do 2 more. Inhaling, lift up. Maybe your arm coming towards your ear, and then exhaling, hand back. Last one. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, arm back. Good. And then let's release that arm, maybe using it out in the front for support. And for this leg movement, maybe your bottom leg goes straight. And we can do kind of some big circles, other direction. Good. All right, wonderful. Let's come on to our front again. And this time we're going to come up onto the forearms into a sphinx pose. Parallel the forearms, take your chest through, tuck your chin, and really draw. So you're using your arms to draw yourself forward, stretching out the front. Wonderful. And then come on down. Let's press up to tabletop. And then how about downward dog? First one of the day or of the class, anyways. Lifting the hips up and back. Forming a pyramid with your body. And if your back is tight or your hamstrings are tight, your legs are tight, then bend your knees quite a bit. So you'll be lifting your hips up and your arms are straight, pushing into the finger pads.
as those arms come on up. All right, let's step feet to the hands, to the front edge of our mat, the short edge, and fold forward. Releasing your head towards the ground, bending the knees. And then use your hands. Let's rise all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up. And then bring your hands in front of your heart. Take those arms now down to your sides and find your mountain pose. So standing really, really tall, feet planted to the earth, head rising towards the ceiling. Long, tall, and at ease. Finding, exploring, and feeling how your feet are in contact with the ground. Notice if you're front or you're more on the front of the foot or the back of the foot or the sides or the inside. And see if you can find equal stance, both feet from the toes, base of the toes, center of the heel. So feeling now the strength in your legs, strength all the way up to the hips, the back, the chest, arms, fingers, and turning those palms open. Let's move through a sun salutation. Inhale, reach your arms up. Maybe look up. Bend your knees. Exhale, tip forward, and the hands coming down to the ground or the hands. Your knees can be bent here. Bring your hands to your shins, long spine, flat back. You're going to look straight down at the floor. And then bend your knees. Inhale, rise up. Arms lift. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in. Pinkies can touch if that's okay on your shoulders. A little bit of an extension. Exhale, bending the knees, touching down, releasing head. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise back up, long spine, flat back. And exhale, hands to heart. Last one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, touching down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Hands touch down. Step one leg back. It doesn't matter which one. Get really long. So your hands frame your front foot. If your foot doesn't, you want to have your knee over your ankle, push down into your foot, looking forward, and then push off of that back foot, coming back into your fold. Let's take the other leg back now. Lengthen. That knee comes over the ankle, hands frame that front foot, look forward. Maybe drop the hips a little bit, not too much. You want to keep the hips more or less square. Good. Now we're going to step back. Your hands plant wide and step back to downward dog. Come forward to a plank or tabletop. Exhale, come down all the way to your stomach. Point your feet, shoulders back. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Chest forward. Elbows stay bent. And exhale, come down. Toes under, press up to tabletop or a plank, and then take it back to child's pose. Forehead can rest on your arms or the mat. Two more breaths here. All right, stretching your arms forward, creating equal space between the hands, fingers. So the fingers are out wide, like think about a starfish, and then pressing down, like gripping a ball. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Looking forward, step those feet to your hands and fold over your legs. Bend your knees, look forward, and rise all the way up to a standing mountain, and then bring your hands to your heart. Okay, let's repeat our lunge, and then we will move into some bigger poses and balance. Inhale, lift your arms up, maybe extend back as you engage your back side of your body. Exhale, fold forward over your legs with bent knees slightly. Lifting and lengthening, maybe your legs go straight. And exhale, fold over your legs, keep lengthening. Step one leg back for that lunge. Push down into that front foot, out through that back heel, and then step forward and fold. Other leg goes back. Inhale, pushing down into the front foot for stability, reaching out through the crown, and maybe coming up onto the toes of the back foot. Push off, forward fold. Lift halfway, fold all the way, hands down, step both legs back, downward dog. Coming forward to plank. Maybe you keep those knees up, maybe not. Knees down. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale to a cobra or upward dog. Maybe your arms going straight. And exhale, taking it back to child's pose. And letting your head rest on the mat. All right, coming into downward facing dog. Walking your hands to your feet. Forward fold. Rise all the way up to standing, and then bring your hands to your heart. Wonderful. All right, let's do some warrior poses, shall we? So, facing the long edge of your mat, taking your legs out wide. Open your arms. Inhale. Turn your leg out. That's towards this the plant on the floor plant, and then exhale, bend your knee. Warrior two. Push down into the feet. Reverse warrior. Let's wrap that back arm around, and then side angle coming onto your leg, left arm next to your ear. Wonderful. Coming back up, reversing your warrior, and then straighten out arms, turning your leg out towards the stand plant, and then exhale, bending your knee, warrior two, push down into that front foot, and inhale, reaching your arm up, exhaling, side angle, inhale back up, reverse warrior,
And exhale, straighten out, turning the feet parallel, arms go back behind, and then bend your knees. Exhale and fold over your legs, releasing your head. In fact, nod your head back and forth here, side to side. And now bending your knees, look forward, rise all the way up, and bring your hands to the heart. Let's repeat warrior poses one last time each side and then move into a balance. Inhaling, opening your arms, turn your leg towards the plant on the floor. Exhaling, bending your knee. Good. Inhale, arm lifts, wrap that back arm around like we did on our side earlier. And then exhale, reach towards your knee and then unravel your top arm. Come back into that reverse warrior. Push into your feet. Push downward. And then rise back up, opening the arms. Let's do the other side. Turning your foot out. Create some space. Exhale, bending your knee. Inhale to open up your side. Wrap your arm around. Exhale, reach. Unravel. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, straighten. Parallel your feet. Inhale, open here. Exhale, bending the knees and coming over your legs, releasing your head. And again, maybe you have more length in your body. You could take your feet out wider, come a little closer towards the floor. Maybe you're using blocks, table, anything to support you. Your hands can be on the floor, your feet, your ankles, or your legs. Just feel the lengthening for 2 more breaths. Nice stretch there. All right, wonderful. Walk your feet towards one another to come up to standing. So bending your knees and then come all the way up. Reach your arms up and hands coming to the heart. All right, folks, are we ready for balance? So here's where maybe you have that wall or that sturdy piece of furniture nearby. And first, we're going to find what we call mountain pose. So you can rock back and forth on those feet, feeling the bottoms of your feet, feeling the toes, the toe mounds, and the center of the heels. And then let's come up onto the toes momentarily, pressing down into the feet, feeling the length, feeling the strength of your body, and then descend those feet down, planting the heels. Let's stretch out through your toes, your fingers even, getting really tall. Your chest is slightly lifted, the shoulders are back and down. You're feeling the back side of your body engage, feeling the core stability, feeling the broadness in your feet, feeling the breath, breathing in and out. 2 more times, breathing in to the top and breathing out to the bottom. Last one. All right. So let's try our tree pose. So stay stable and strong through your base, even your core strong. Bring one or both arms up overhead. Get really tall. Palms come together. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart and lift one knee and then turn that knee out. So your toes can stay on the floor here. If you want, push down into that standing leg. Maybe one hand comes to the wall or the table or chair. And maybe you see if you can lift the foot just below the knee, or maybe you challenge yourself and you bring your foot up higher. Standing on one leg is not easy, so it doesn't matter really where you have your foot. If you need a little support, Keep your foot on the ground. Find length. And breathe. Talking about breath. Last two. All right, wonderful. And find a stance that's at ease, comfortable, and yet so relaxed yet engaged, right? And notice. Notice your breath. All right, you ready? So you're feeling the strength in your body. Everything's engaged. And let's do it. Other side. Inhale. Find the length. Use your core as you exhale, shifting your weight to the other leg. And get really tall as you breathe out. Finding, it's nice if you're in a corner because then you can have both arms to the wall. So choosing any arm position that's easy for you or that feels natural or relaxed. There's this balance between finding some effort and instability. You just keep practicing, allowing that wavering, that wobbling for 2 more breaths. And then release. How'd you do? At ease. Just getting stronger. All right. Let's come work our way to the floor for some stretching and then final relaxation. So, coming to the short edge of your mat, feet under the hips, palms out. Inhale, reach up for the full length of your body, bending the knees. Exhale and come forward over your legs. Lifting halfway, lengthening through your torso, and exhaling, hands touching down, releasing head. Stepping legs back into downward dog. Again, you're forming that triangle, feeling that nice stretch come into the back of the legs, your arms long, firm, your heels towards the ground. And then inhale, come forward to a high or a low plank. Shift your weight forward. Exhale, come down to your stomach. Inhale for a cobra with elbows bent or upright. Straighten the arms, lifting the legs. Upward dog. Taking it down and then pressing up and back to child's pose. Hips towards heels. If this bothers your knees, come into happy puppy with the arms straight and the hips lifted. You could always place something between the knees, under the ankles, under the hips. Bend your elbows here and clasp your hands behind your head. So you're getting a nice stretch through the elbows, triceps, arms, sides. 3 more breaths. You're getting a stretch also in the hips, the ankles, the feet, your back. Last one, last breath. All right, coming on now to your back for our final stretch sequence. So once you get down onto your back, again, if you like something beneath your under your head, that's fine. Go ahead and grab that. Maybe you need something under your back. And let's give ourselves just a moment to kind of feel the length of our spine, our torso, and the floor beneath us. All right, now keeping one knee bent, take your other leg up towards the ceiling, holding on somewhere along the back of your body, back of your leg anyway. And you can have interlace the hands, the hamstrings, or the calf, the ankle, or maybe you have access to your foot without strain. Another option is to send your bottom leg down straight to the floor, taking both uh, legs. If your legs are straight, your heels are reaching away from you, pressing up, and your breath is smooth and regular. If you're finding that you're strained in your breath or you're building a sweat on your brow, then maybe you're putting too much effort into it. And you want to feel some sensation, but not to the point of any damage to the tissues. Now take that leg across your torso, and you might keep your bottom leg bent or you could straighten it. So we'll work to sensation along the outside of that leg. You could roll more onto your side if you'd rather, whatever feels the best in your body. Just kind of noticing, tracking sensation along the way. Coming up, taking that same leg out to away from your torso, maybe bringing your knee in here. So you'll get a little bit more space in the inner seam of the leg if you bend your knee, your opposite knee. Again, holding on to your leg somewhere here, using your elbow as a little prop to hold up your leg. And then bringing your leg back up, head coming up towards your leg, and then releasing down. Bend both knees. Let your knees fall together and your feet to the edge of your mat. All right, let's do the other side. Sending your leg up towards the ceiling. Getting a nice, good stretch for your leg, your hip. You might even feel it along your back somewhere. If your head is lifted, you want to bring it back down, maybe with a blanket under it. All right, taking your leg now across your torso, looking in the opposite direction for this counter rotational stretch. Coming to the outside now, finding any positioning of your leg. The side's probably different, and that's okay. You're just noticing, not judging, just noticing. And then bringing your leg back to center, head and shoulders up towards your leg. And then lowering down. This time we'll stretch the legs long, arms coming towards the wall behind you alongside the ears. And we're going to take a side bend. So you're walking your feet over to one corner of your mat. You can stretch your arms and torso over to that same upper corner, what we call banana pose. So your hips, your shoulders, and your head stay on the ground. And stretching to the other side. And back through center. Last one here. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Lift your head and shoulders up to your legs. And then lower down. Now we've arrived at our final relaxation meditation. If you'd rather be sitting up or be on your side or anything, we use this time to integrate what it is that we've done today, the movements and the stretching and the breathing. And this is a point of stillness. So, uh, if there's some other movement, maybe some head movement side to side that might feel good for your neck, you can do that as well. Just whatever you like in order for yourself to be comfortable for about 5 minutes. I'll be sitting up for this to guide you through it. So, giving yourself permission for the stillness as we do just a really brief body scan. So, whether you're sitting or lying, you could even be standing, whatever is the most comfortable for you and feels the most secure. Get comfortable. Notice the surface supporting you, whether it's under your feet, under your seat, or under your body. Noticing your breath. And now we'll begin the body scan. So, without judgment or trying to fix or change anything, notice the inside of your mouth, the hinges of the jaw, inside of the ears, the tip of your nose, your eyes, your forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, the sides of your head. Noticing the base of your throat, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. Noticing your hips, the front of your torso, the sides of your torso, and your back. upper, middle, and lower. Noticing your hips, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. Noticing your toes. And now noticing your whole body, the front, the sides, and your back. Noticing the inside of your body and the outside of your body. And noticing your whole body as you breathe, feeling the movement of breath, the parts of you moving with breath, remaining present and aware of the flow of inhale and exhale. Taking 3 more breaths, counting 2 more breaths. And last breath here. Nice and smooth and easy. And then just breathing naturally, bringing your awareness back into the surroundings, back into the room that you're in, back to the surface. Any sounds, smells, tastes, anything you might pick up on in this moment. And when you feel ready, if you're ready, of course, you're in the comfort of your own space. So maybe you'd like to stay longer. Otherwise, begin some movement, wiggling, jostling maybe. Maybe you'd like to stretch your arms and legs. Maybe you're moving your head side to side, stretching fingers, anything that feels good to you. And eventually bringing yourself up to a seated pose if you're not already there to close our time together today. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me today in this Comeback Yoga All Levels class. Again, my name is Tonya, and I look forward to seeing you again. If you have any questions, comments, please type them in the chat. I'll stay on for a moment just to respond to that. Otherwise, if you have the opportunity to follow us on social media, if you do social media, otherwise, you can also follow the link below if you have the means to donate. We accept your donations. And just so honored to be here with you and support you in this practice. Take good care of yourself until I see you next time.